don't play with me. Else you're gonna learn. And for real, and you all will learn the hard way. Make sure this man get penalty.
And being a blessing to many. For no reason. These few days, I don't know what happened.
And disrespecting the court. The court has ordered for his arrest, but the government is afraid. What kind of a country is this?
State religious belief, is that illegal?
I don't think it is.
Is that illegal in all sense of it?
And the enemies from nowhere gathered together. They came.
I can say the man is even a fraudster at the end of the day, based on the evidence that are online.
Friendly above the law. Why are we here? Why are we even here?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Plan B TV News. Okay, I just want to quickly update you guys about Papa J, Prophet Jeremiah versus VDM. You know, say they get lawsuits. And because of this Bobrisky case, we have not been able to talk about it. Me personally, I really don't know why Papa J lawyer is all over the news now, granting interview. Me, I never see where lawyer they will do all these things. Lawyer be they prepare, they wait. But this one went on an interview to say a lot of things, and the interview chat long. But I want you guys to watch the first interview before I give you the second interview, before I give you the third interview, and see the different thing. It's obvious that these men they are afraid of VDM, but I want you guys to watch the video. We'll be right back.
To some level, the church is satisfied because the Globe Board, Stable Water, they did in their communication with the church and to the vendors that they have a NAFDAC number. One thing I want people to understand is that there are several narratives to the statement issued by the DG of NAFDAC. Purportedly, there is a supposed complainant in the person of Very Dark Man. I think he's actually pressurizing and blackmailing the agency to actually indict the church. And we frown at that. The church is a law-abiding church. In the statement of the DG, he said the church is not cooperating with NAFDAC. That is a fallacy. That has no iota of that. I was physically present at the NAFDAC office on the 5th of September 2024 with the representative of the church, and the church took their statement of caution. Two of the church representatives, in breach of their fundamental human right and their presumption to innocence and to their right to dignity, they were detained by the NAFDAC office, right, where the NAFDAC office have no power whatsoever to detain any citizens of Nigeria. You can see the vindictiveness and the persecution by NAFDAC, and that is what we frown at that. Yes.
Sounds a lot like you're saying your client is ready to fully cooperate with NAFDAC's investigation. But
yes, we are cooperating with them. We are cooperating with NAFDAC, and we have made ourselves available. Yes. So for NAFDAC to say the church is not.
Can you confirm if there's a temporary halt in sales of these unverified products according to NAFDAC?
Yes, the church, the spiritual leader of the church, senior prophet Jeremiah Fufuye, has actually said on several programs that the church do not sell any miracle soap. The church can pray for spiritual materials where members bring to the church, but the church do not sell the miracle soap. So I don't know where NAFDAC is getting their evidence of miracle soap from. I don't know. And they communicated to us in their office that the miracle soap is not a subject of investigation. Everything, all the evidence they have
just for some clarity, you're saying the church doesn't sell miracle soap. Does the church sell miracle water?
It's actually the vendors, not the church directly. The vendors alongside the company who produces the water, who actually sell it. It is free. The church does not sell this miracle, supposedly this miracle water.
Well, it's obvious that the church also cannot provide detailed information on the manufacturing process, the ingredients, quality control measures for the miracle water.
I think the
and for what NAFDAC calls miracle soap products. And you agree that these processes need to comply with regulatory standards, and that's where NAFDAC comes in for the safety of your members.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but the problem here is that the church do not produce a miracle soap. It is a different thing. If the church is producing a miracle soap,
but there's the issue of miracle water.
They will have to confirm.
Mr. Samuel, I'm actually concerned about the concrete
Yes.
steps that your client is willing to take to ensure strict compliance.
My clients, both the church and the senior prophet and the representative of the church, they are fully cooperating with NAFDAC. It's good to give it. The step NAFDAC has taken is even compromising their investigation, and it is a breach of everyone's constitutional right to presumption of innocence guaranteed by Section 36(4) of the Constitution. The statement by NAFDAC is a media trial. It is condemnable. It has been condemned by the court in in Ransom Kuti versus AG of the Federation. It is even a bias and a compromise step by the NAFDAC. You don't issue statement when investigations on issues are ongoing. So the statement by NAFDAC is not just one-sided. It is compromised, and the church.
It's a good place to leave it, Mr. Samuel. We're following this story very closely. Looking forward to a situation where both parties can maintain transparency and accountability in the ongoing investigation. Samuel Iheseke is counsel to Prophet Jeremiah Fufeyi of Christ Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry. Thank you for talking to us.
To the main interview, Papa J lawyer said that, okay, you see all this thing that is going on. We will make sure that VDA pay 1 billion. We don't want to forgive. We wanted to forgive. This is the reason I was unable to go to the court to defend Papa J. Not that we don't have enough evidence to pin him, but I just like somebody were sick, somebody were dead. I say, Papa, no, this one not Papa. This one lawyer. Hey. Anyway, I want you guys to watch the long interview. We'll be right back.
It's an honor to have you today.
Thanks so much, Carl. Thanks so much.
It's an honor. I would like you to just briefly introduce yourself to us.
Yes, my name is Iheseke Samuel Jr. I'm a legal practitioner. I'm the principal partner of Pat Legal & Co. I'm also the country legal advisor, One Love Foundation, a secure NGO group who advance for the protection of human rights, protection of vulnerable people, protection of indigent people, and all that. I'm also the principal partner of Pat Legal & Co., a firm of legal practitioners. I'm the managing partner also too.
Thank you. I also understand that you're the legal counsel to Prophet Jeremiah.
Yes. I double as an external lawyer and also a personal counsel to senior prophet Jeremiah Omoto Fufunye of the Christ Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry, located in Kilometer 5, Efron Warri Road, Warri, Delta State, Nigeria.
Thank you so much. You see, very dark man, NAFDAC, Papa J, as he's fondly called, and Miracle Water and all of that.
Yeah.
The controversy has been, very noisy, deafening all over social media. And people like me would really want to get some clarification on some of these issues. So the first question I would like to ask is, this Miracle Water, Miracle Soup, and all of that.
Yes.
Does Papa J or his church produce any of these items?
As I've said in numerous press interviews, the position of a church, the position of Papa J, and my own intensive investigation and engagement on this matter, the position is the Christ Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry, Prophet Jeremiah Omoto Fufunye, the senior prophet of this church. They do not produce any water. Be it Jordan, be it Bethesda, be it Miracle Water. What happened is that a vendor, the court has a contract with a vendor who actually reached out to a company called Global Table Water that is NAFDAC approved and registered. The vendor has a relationship with that company. The company produces that water, gives it to the vendor, and the vendor in turn brings it to the church
Papa J prays over that water and it is distributed to partners, visitors, and members of the church. And that is protected by Section 38 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that talks about the right to freedom of worship and religion. So when you pray over items like that, it's an expression of your religious belief. We have instances like the Anglican Church. We have instances like the Catholic Church, where they take sacramentals, where the fathers praise water. Do those things, do they have NAFDAC number? Why is NAFDAC on a vindictive mission? I'll stop at that.
All right. So if they do not produce any of this water, this means that they are retailing, or Christ Mercy Land Ministry or Prophet Papa J, do they give this water, these miracle items, free to their members, or they sell it?
Well, what actually happens is the church, the procedure of the church is, since the church, definitely they will incur expenses in those things coming to the church. You pay to the vendors in the church. And sometimes the procedure is that those vendors will issue you receipts. But not the church. The church has no liability in this matter. It has no liability. Not the same thing. They have the mufflers, they have the rug, they have the other items. Our anger is that NAFDAC, in their press release, they made a lot of indictive statements. If you remember, in the last program and in previous instances, Papa J has said that I do not produce miracle soap. The miracle soap can be lost, can be Tura soap, NAFDAC approved. But however, I'm going to pray and you're going to exercise your Christian faith, your Christian religious belief. Is that illegal?
I don't think it is.
Is that illegal in all sense of it? And authoritatively, I was in NAFDAC office on the 5th of September. I met the subordinates of the deputy director on investigation and enforcement in their Asaba office. And I asked them, the miracle soap, is it also a subject of your investigation? And they authoritatively informed me that it's not subject of any investigation whatsoever, that they have no empirical, they have no conventional, and they have no skeleton of evidence as regard that miracle soap, that they are reducing their investigation to the water, which they obtained from Globe Board, which they have since sealed.
Okay. Now, this is very interesting.
Yes.
The reason why I said it's interesting is because Papa J has what he called the pool of Bethesda.
Yeah, Bethesda. Yes.
In his church. And he built it himself.
Yes.
And there are videos all over the ministry's YouTube page.
Yes.
Where they get water from that pool.
Yes.
They bottle this water.
Yes.
They brand this water.
Yes.
And this water, they also sell this water. And this water does not have NAFDAC number. And you're saying that Papa J or the ministry does not produce any of this water. So I would want a clarification.
Yes, that pool of Bethesda water you see, where you see that swimming pool, is an artificial insemination, where people go to pray and express their spiritual belief. For my own extensive brief, I went there personally. I never see any collection, sampling, production of any water from that pool. And I asked sensitive questions to the people there. And they made reference to the Globe Board. That is how it has always been. He goes there and said, I'm praying for you. As I'm praying for you, join me and pray for me. Just like the way the Catholic Church, the father takes and spray on the members. And also to the entirety of this water, several instances, the vendors have made it known to the users, to the members, that these waters are not consumables. They are not expected to
drink it.
Yeah, drink or just sprinkle it as an exercise of your faith. And one thing you should also know, there have not been any complaint apart from very dark man. And the complaint itself, very dark man's complaint, is bereft of any justification. He has no locus. In the sense that, one, he's not the Attorney General of the Federation. Section 27 of the NAFDAC Act actually provides for the power to prosecute on infractions of the NAFDAC Act. And what he recognized, even NAFDAC do not have the powers to prosecute under their own acts. They need to get the fiat and the consent of the Attorney General of the Federation to prosecute on when someone has committed an infraction. What Very Dark Man is doing is a medusum, what we call medusum interloper, a busybody, and someone who has no bearing, and someone who's basically jobless.
Okay. Now, I want to ask something. If you said that the Papa J or the ministry does not produce any of this water.
Yes.
And there are vendors available.
Yes, there are vendors who entered into contracts with the Globe Board.
With the Globe Board.
Yes.
Now I want to ask, if I pick a bottled water, let's say Seaway bottled water.
Yes.
If I buy from Seaway bottled water, remove the Seaway label on it, rebrand it with my own name.
Yes.
Give it a new name.
Yes.
And say that the content is no longer just to quench anyone's thirst, but also to cause some miracles or any other thing.
Yes.
And put the NAFDAC number of Seaway on it. Remember, I've changed the brand name. I've changed everything about the water, both in and outside, and put the same NAFDAC number of the original producer, which is Seaway. Don't you think it's fraudulent to do that?
It's not fraudulent in the sense there's an existing MOU and a branding contract between the vendors and the global world, the Globe World.
The reason why I'm asking is because
the global
certified.
The infraction we are looking at, we are also looking at if they are possible infraction. The thing is that the church, maybe because of not proper total guidance in the regulatory framework, they left everything for the vendor to handle. And I think to some extent, the church is excupulated from liability. It's if there are any people to answer questions on these issues, it's basically the vendor and the Globe Board. The church angle to all this is that there is a branding contract between the Globe Board and the vendor. And the Globe Board has been the one supplying the water for the past 2 years to the vendor, who in turn brings it to the church. I don't know if you're getting it. Mind you, where NAFDAC has failed to understand, there exists a 2020 regulation, guideline on exemption of spiritual items. They have not averted their mind to that regulation. Items like Holy Rosary, Bible, holy water, they are exempted from registration. The problem we have is that I have that regulation, but I'm not seeing it in any of their websites. But the regulation, it has not been repudiated. I saw that regulation, a 2013 regulation on spiritual items. And if that regulation exists, is still in existence, that means even if the Globe Board and the vendor, they are exempted from liability in this matter.
Great.
Totally exempted, even if they did not meet up with the regulatory framework, they are exempted. The problem with the challenge we have, I've searched and I've done an extensive investigation. And if you check your Meta app and you check your Google, you will see that regulation. But when you go to the NAFDAC website and where they have their itemized regulation, you can't find it there. So I don't know what is happening, but we are still doing our searches. So, but the framework, there was a framework and a guideline on exemption of spiritual materials produced by NAFDAC in 2013 that exempted spiritual materials like holy, because the only investigation now NAFDAC is doing is the water. There's nothing about the miracle soap, and that is where we have grievances. We have challenge. We have deep expression of anger with the statement released by the NAFDAC GD. That is a media parade. That press release by the NAFDAC GG is indictive, is a presumption of both the church, the vendors, and the global right to presumption of innocence. You don't give a conclusive pronouncement when you are not the law courts. You are just an agency. Your work is to investigate, and if you feel there are infractions, you subject it to the law court to carry out determinations and make pronouncements. But for NAFDAC to go ahead, issue press meet, condemn everybody, and still say preliminary investigation is going on, is a flagrant breach of Section 36(4) that guarantees the right to human dignity, right to privacy, and the choice to presumption of innocence. No matter how you might perceive crime, our adversarial criminal justice system still presume you innocent till when a competent law court has pronounced you guilty of that offense. So I will advise the DG of the NAFDAC to please, in the interest of fair hearing and against all conventional rules, to take that secular or press statement back to wherever she goes, because there will be a legal challenge to it very soon. There will be a serious legal challenge, and maybe the Christian Association of Nigeria might have to come in, and every other interested group may have to come in, because this is some of the things she has done goes against the extant provision of a right to freedom of worship and religion guaranteed by Section 38 of the Constitution.
Great. Now, I want to ask about the names, some of the names of this water.
Yes.
This miracle water. We're talking about the water from the pool of Bethesda.
Yes.
Right? Now, that is the name of the water. Yes. I saw that on the website of the church.
Yes.
I have about 9 different waters there.
Yes.
Now, we have the River Jordan
water. Let me
water.
chip in something before you go on.
Okay.
The thing is that for each programs that come, messages are passed to the vendors. In turn, messages are passed to the global world. They produce those water and they bring to the church.
Okay, great. Now, so on the website of the church, you have this River Jordan water. You have the water of Pool of Bethesda. Now, if the water of the Pool of Bethesda, if you're saying the content of that water is not from that Pool of Bethesda,
yes,
but from the global water.
Yes.
Why is it that the church is selling it as a water from the Pool of Bethesda?
The thing is, you can say, my faith, I believe in God, and this is how is an expression of your religious faith. The form is not the content, is the faith you have that this thing will work. It doesn't matter where you get it from. I don't know if you're getting it. You can get, it's like a description. This modern day Israel you have now, that was not the Israel in the Bible.
Yes.
It's the same thing with this scenario. You can say this is the communion we Christians, we eat, we take in. That is not the communion, the Passover feast that was done in the Bible. So it has sundry interpretation. You getting me, sir? It has sundry interpretation and sundry meanings. So it doesn't really mean because it is pool of Bethesda water, it has to come from the Bethesda. No, that pool, no. It's the global world who actually produces these things. They bring it to the church. The church at every program, give it to the vendor. This is our schedule of our program. Get it, bring it to the church, let the church bless it, and give to the members to exercise their religious belief.
Now, do you think the vendors and the global waters
yes,
have questions to answer as regarding to the fact that the certification they get from they got from NAFDAC was for a different product, and what is being sold in the Christ Mercy Land Ministry is almost entirely a different product.
I can only speak for Mercy Land. I can only speak for Christ Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry and Prophet Joel. I'm not the counsel to the vendor. I'm not also I don't know their position, but I'm giving you the full narrative. But from what I noticed in my investigation and my observance, and in the course of my legal work when I was in NAFDAC, I think there are questions the global world and the vendor they need to answer. And I can tell you, I saw the investigation, the pattern of investigation, and I can tell you I'm highly disappointed with the investigators and staffs of NAFDAC Asaba. You can imagine a situation where they were trying to force the vendor, the proposed representative of the vendor, to indict the senior prophet. I witnessed it firsthand as a lawyer. To call his name, put his name. What is his name? Did the pastor not tell you to do this? Put his name, call his name. And I had to say, no, this is not investigation. This is an indirect way of indictment. And when they saw my stance on it, they had to. It's unfortunate that even in that office, you know, the current position of our law is that when confessional statements are being taken, there need to be a camera.
Yes.
NAFDAC do not have that facility in the Asaba office. If not, we would have challenged them to produce it or write an FOI for them to produce it. They just took that statement and they were doing all this necessary to indict the senior prophet so that they could have evidence. I challenged the NAFDAC office, both in Abuja and Asaba, to produce a statement where they investigated the miracle soup, or a confessional statement by any of the witness, any of the persons they invited, both the Globe boards and both the Jeremiah representative and the vendors, to produce a statement where they investigated the miracle soup. They have nothing, no empirical statement, no conventional investigation or discrete investigation of any kind. So I wonder where that unfounded statement, when you say an unfounded statement is a statement that does not have a basics, there is no nexus, there is no foundation. It's a statement that is blank, empty, without no substance. That is an unfounded statement. So I wonder the unfounded statement by press release the DG of NAFDAC actually gave, when you have not actually gone into intensive and discrete investigation.
Now, do you think Very Dark Man is trying to blackmail NAFDAC or Papa J with all of this?
The truth about the Very Dark Man is, you know, presently there's a trending allegation of forgery. And preliminary investigation has conclusively pointed to the very fact that even the said receipts Very Dark Man displayed and alluded to in court, allegedly, before the FCT High Court, there are variances and there are discrepancies and there are nomenclatures of that receipt being a forged receipt. It will be the forensic investigation will be out soon for Nigerians. He should be prepared for a serious charges of forgery. I have seen it and there's no escape route for him. I pray at the end of the day he gets justice. But I have seen that receipts. Have compared it with the original, have compared it to the one it has. There are sharp discrepancy. Where the receipt of Jeremiah Church has no name, has no date, the amount is different by Very Dark Man, and there's a disclaimer letter from the church, Christ Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry, that from the accounting records that they cannot find that receipt. So if NAFDAC is saying Very Dark Man submitted an investigation, where is the receipt Very Dark Man used in buying those items? That means he must have obtained that container, go to anywhere, put water, and come and say, this is the water from Jeremiah Church, and hand over the, because I know, supposedly, I know that Very Dark Man is the only nominal complainant in this matter. We don't know of any. It's because, you know, the thing is, we are so open to NAFDAC. We wrote them several letters on our stance. We were even the one who wrote to NAFDAC that Globe Board is the one supplying the church. They should extend their investigation. And the next day, even without conducting investigation, they went to seal up Globe Board. They didn't invest. They went there, seized items. They have the right of seizure in looking at Section 42 of the NAFDAC Act. They can actually seize, but they don't, where they fail to understand, they don't have the right to seal up the property. It is illegal.
Why do you think NAFDAC suddenly woke up now? The
thing is that Very Dark Man has developed an antique of trying to blackmail them. You can remember he was calling one Mr. Bitrus, one name and all that he's going to expose them, that they have been collecting money. He has made all manner of allegations. And they never, even if they don't have the powers to investigate him, they never subjected him to scrutiny by reporting him to the police. And what we could see, and investigation is a continuous process. And every time the NAFDAC statement said Jeremiah's church did not cooperate with them, they never appeared. That is a fallacy. Check their register on the 5th of September. I led the team. I led the team to the NAFDAC office Asaba. I'm based here in Abuja. I flew to Asaba. I didn't just flew to Asaba. I started my journey from Benin. I took a hired car from the airport and I flew to the Asaba office. And with their representative, we had the Global, the owners of Global there. We have the vendors representative. Myself too. We all went to the NAFDAC office. We appeared there. We gave our statement on caution. And the representative of the Global were granted bail to go. They asked Jeremiah's representative, the church representative, to produce a shorty of a CFO for a NAFDAC investigation. And they were kept for more than 24 hours. And when you check the NAFDAC Act, they have no power to detain. Their work stops at investigation and charging to court if they have the fiat of the Attorney General. So you can see from all this narration, you can see that the whole thing is one-sided and very biased.
Great. The last question before you go, sir. On the website of, the official website of the ministry, if you go there, like I've said before, you see different kinds of miracle items, miracle waters and all of that with different price tags. Yeah. All right. If I buy any of those miracle waters or those miracle items, pay for it, and it doesn't work for me, do I have the right to sue the church or Papa J?
No, the thing is,
it's like
miracles.
Saying this is the content of this thing.
Miracles.
When you buy this thing,
miracles. Those things you see you pay to the vendors.
Just excuse me, sir. It's like buying something and you're saying this is the content of this thing.
Yeah.
If you buy this is what the content is going to do for you. All right. This is the price tag on this thing. And I buy it, go home, and after using it, and it doesn't work for me according to the producers said, what is, on the sales page of the website, do I have the right to sue the producers or someone like Papa J or the Christ Mercy Land Ministry?
When you sow seed and you are not blessed in 1 minute, do you sue?
No.
The same thing with the water. When you buy those things, it's an expression of your religious belief. I'm a Christian, a hardcore Christian. And I've seen miracles. I've seen where medical indictment has been given to me. And I've solely trust God and subjected myself to medical practice. And take medical practice, I become well. Is my faith in my belief. There's an interesting part. I want to conclude with this. There's an interesting part of a case in Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria versus Okonkwo, Dr. Okonkwo. In that case, Dr. Okonkwo met a patient who was a Jehovah's Witness. And one of the doctrines of a Jehovah's Witness, they refuse blood transfusion.
Yes.
And the patient in question refused blood transfusion. And Dr. Okonkwo respected her religious belief and obliged her. She died. Dr. Okonkwo was reported to the Medical and Dental Medical Association of Council. And he was accused of infamous conduct. And he was stripped. And his license as a lawyer was taken from him. He went to the High Court. He didn't succeed. He went to the Court of Appeal. He didn't succeed. He went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court nullified and quashed that indictment by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria and respected and recognized the rights to religious belief. The Jehovah's Witness and every religious belief that if a person feels he takes water, he will become well. Leave that person to his belief. It's not an indictment. If a person says with the microphone that when you pay your tithe, you are going to be blessed, it's nothing fake, or it is not an indictment. It's an expression of your religious belief. We have some people who go to Mecca to pray. We have some Afars who go to different places to
Jerusalem.
pray. We have some even Ifa servers. This is what the Constitution recognizes. And so you cannot build. What NAFDAC failed to understand is that Section 5 of the NAFDAC law actually allows them to go into investigation of items. But one other thing they should also understand, in all the entirety of that their law, you know, for you to say an act is a crime must have been defined by written law and the penalty prescribed by written law. There is no mention of spiritual items, and apart from the regulation we cannot find again, and there's no mention of regulation of churches materials in all these things. So how can you say the items the church use, they are product of crime? So I leave that question to the NAFDAC. They should do an intensive overview.
All right, guys, this is when we're going to be ending the video. What do you guys think about this lawyer granting interview? I think this is the 4th interview you have granted so far. I never seen where a lawyer they grant interview to defend client. Anyway, instead of going to court to defend your clients, then you are not granting interview, defending your clients on a radio station, on a TV station, on a podcast, all over, even on live stream. You know what? Go court, go defend your clients. But if they defend your clients for podcast, oh God, now Nigeria, many take efficacy. God, why have you thou forsaken Nigerians like this? Anyway, this is where I'm going to be ending the video today. I'll be waiting for you guys in the comment section. What do you guys think? How do you want this case to end? Should VDM forget Papa J and forgive Papa J and centrals in focus on Bobrisky, EFCC, prison officials, and all of them that are involved in that case? Or me robust all of them together, move fight this justice to the very end? Rome will not be the one day. Corruption started in one day. Then we rectify and sanitize this corruption from one day. At least VDM don't put a hand to money mutilation for Nigeria. Like before, when you see big men, yeah boy, everybody does spend money in here. If you know, say they know you for public, that you be person when they know notable character for public, you can't spend money anyhow again, because man, they come to your house and arrest you. All kudos to VDM. And a lot of people in VDM don't fight for to retrieve money when they fraud them. A lot of people when VDM don't come out for prison, when they're unlawful put in prison because their papa this person get money. A lot of people when VDM don't fight against crime, against scam, against a lot of injustice. Now we dey here. Even this pastor stuff, selling soap, spiritual items, and VDM stopper. So people should not just say that, okay, VDM is trying to take this personal case of Bobrisky personal. This man is doing a lot of great job. Which Nigerians, when I say comments, lots of Nigerians saying, not be you want sanitize Nigeria, not be you want stop the corruption in Nigeria. The corruption within Nigeria don't take. And you want start if you want start now with Bobrisky, now with this gonna be it didn't start with Bobrisky. He has been doing it back. Now Bobrisky turn a day. So by the time we finish this chapter, we'll go to the next chapter. This one has been doing a great job. Yeah, I will tell you for free, he's doing a great job. But unfortunately, most Nigerians, I can't say all, because I see large numbers of reasonable Nigerians soliciting and siding him, sending their prayers and praying for him so that God will stand with him to see him through with all of this. But some, the weevil in Nigerians, who just want to agree that Nigeria does corrupt, more you live like that, more you live our life they do. I'll be waiting for you guys in the comment section. I love you guys. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. All right, until we meet again. Peace out.
At what point would one say that they can have a strong case of defamation?
Section 35 or 25 of the Cybercrime Act defines, cyberbullying as using the internet to pass wrong information about somebody. And defamation is when you pass wrong information, knowing that information to be true. You speak wrong information about somebody, knowing that information to be false. But what are the defense to defamation? Defense to defamation is the fact that this information is not wrong, it is true. So I have justification for it. In the first place, you do not even have a reputation to protect, because what you're doing is passing out, wrong products. These products that I am calling out are wrong products. You say you have miracle soap, you have miracle water, you have miracle perfume, full of bestseller, you have keys and you have stones, and that they heal and they cure. They drive away poverty. And anybody that uses them will, if we are finding difficult in building a house, there are spiritual attacks. Once you use this product, that you will, all of these difficulties will vanish. Now you have advertised to the entire world. Anybody at all that uses this product and it fails can call you out, because you owe that person a duty of care. And so in this case, I buy the product and I take them. I want to heal people because I'm passionate about, I want to heal people on the street. I say, okay, let me buy this product that they say is working, and I give it to them, and nothing happens. Is that not deceit? The nature of the Freedom of Information Act is not everything that should be left in the realms of spirituality.